Hey everyone, welcome back to the Corbin Report again. Thanks for listening. Figured I'd do an episode, a little recap of Thursday night's football game with the Eagles versus the Giants. And what a surprise it was, at least to me. I don't think anyone had the Giants beating the Eagles. Spoiler alert, not only did they beat them, they dominated them, almost basically scoring double their points. The Giants ran away with the game literally, and I'm thinking of titling this Darting to the End Zone Giants Take Down Super Bowl Defending Champs Eagles. Because they had one passing touchdown and a lot of rushing touchdowns. They found the end zone. In the Giants' next game, they face the Denver Broncos. But first, the Broncos will face the Jets in London and are the away team, even though both teams are away. I don't think it's London, but I know it's overseas. What do the Giants and Broncos both have in common? Well, they both just defeated the Super Bowl champion Eagles 1 week after another. The Eagles started running the ball, doing good. They stopped. I think they should have kept running the ball, wore down the Giants' defense. And yes, I know Barkley has his aggravated or pain injury or whatever you want to call it. The Eagles started passing, and they were doing well. And yes, Hurts threw an interception, but the Eagles still did pretty well. And I remember I said earlier in the year the Eagles' defense isn't that great. I did pick the Eagles to win, and boy, did I get that wrong. Their offense is much better than their defense. Most of their defense left for other teams. They also didn't have Jalen Carter in this game on defense. Barkley had 12 rushes for 58 yards, while Hurts threw for 283 yards, an interception, completing 24 of 33 passes. And I also believe Hurts had I know he had one pass touchdown to Goddard. Excuse me for that. That was just lovely. And his other touchdown, let me just, double check for you right now. He also rushed for one touchdown as well. But it was their defense that did not look good and the Giants' offense that made them look bad. What's more surprising about this game is the Giants did this with no receivers, or at least no true number one receivers. No Malik Neighbors, no Darius Slayton, and New York still won. They scored 5 touchdowns, and the reason it's 34 points, not 35, is they missed an extra point. And it is a two-way street, and the receivers and Dart are making each other look good. It looks like Dart knows what he is doing. And his passes he had some pretty nice throws, deep throws, and then when there's nothing there, pun totally intended, he just darts through the middle or the outside to go for the first down. Fellow rookie running back Cam Scadaboo was 2 yards shy of 100 rushing yards, off of 19 rushes for 3 touchdowns, while Dart, who was the other rookie offensive player, had the other 2 touchdowns, along with Wan'Dale Robinson, who had the receiving end of the passing touchdown. Dart ran for 1, and as you know, he just passed for 1. Wan'Dale Robinson stepped up, only 6 receptions, but for 84 yards. Jackson Dart completed 17 of 25 passes for 195 yards and a touchdown. He also rushed for 13 times and 56 yards. I said the Giants have no secondary except for Paulson Adebo. And yes, I know they picked off Hurts Thursday night. Their front four is good. I know about Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm learning about Brian Burns, and I heard the broadcaster say Burns is the leading sack leader in the NFL right now. And I'm starting to know him more. Speaking of Burns, The Giants on offense and defense, they burned the Eagles. All the puns intended for. The Giants offense has shown us who they are against the Chargers and now the Eagles. And they did this, the beating the Eagles after losing to the Saints last week, who were winless. I don't think many, if any, people picked the Giants to win tonight. I only know one person who did that got it right. What makes it worse, I know it's this already, is they didn't just win. They won and they destroyed, dominated, crushed. Use whatever adjective you want to beat the Eagles. Now, the real question is, how will they do against Bo Nix and the Broncos in their next game? The Broncos are a good team, so we'll find out. And the Broncos are playing the Jets overseas, the away team. I'm picking them to win, but that's the one game I'm scared of where I think the Jets can somehow escape with the win. And then you'll have Broncos who lost, Giants who won. Be a good game, and it's going to be in Denver at Mile High Stadium. I would expect a lot of passing and running by both teams. The Broncos have more of a complete defense, while the Giants' defense continues to step up and prove themselves. Can the Broncos hold off the New York Giants, or is Big Blue this year a real contender now? I'm not a believer 100% yet. Say I'm a little closer to believing on the Giants. It's just because they lost to the Saints last week. If they would have won and then won this week, it would have been a different story. Probably would have believed already. I do like the Giants, however. But if they beat the Broncos, then I will say they are real contenders. For my picks this week, I haven't switched any. I don't know if I will yet. And I've kept them the way they are, and we'll see what happens afterwards. As last week, I was horribly wrong. And this week started off wrong with a loss last week. So let's see what happens now. You never know, anything can happen. And then I know they showed the standings after the game last night too. Giants are still in last place in the standings. But if you look at their records with their division, the Giants are 2-4 in last place in the NFC East. Cowboys 2-2 and 1 because they had that tie with the Packers. The Commanders are 3-2 and the Eagles 4-2. So realistically, the Giants are only 2 games behind despite being in last place in their division. And also, I know someone said I heard, I think it was on the TV. I think they said their schedule doesn't get any easier. And let me check for you what their next few games are. The irony about this is, yes, I picked the Eagles last night, but also earlier in the year, I went through every team, all their schedules, and I made picks on my own of what games I thought they would win and lose before the season even started. And I picked the Giants to win last night, but what I locked in was the Eagles. It's kind of funny. You should always just go with what you have in the beginning, right? So, we'll see what happens. So I had the Giants losing to the Broncos. And then after the Broncos, the Giants and Eagles meet again. So it gets to play the Eagles 2 times in 3 weeks, so pretty quickly. Then they'll play the Niners, who are pretty injured, so that's another game that's possible. But the Niners, they've been doing well with injuries. Then the Giants play the Bears. That's a good chance for them to win, even though I have them losing. I had them beating the Packers somehow, but I think they might lose. Then they play the Lions, play New England, which is my team, which I don't think they'll win. Have a bye week. Then the Redskins, which I think they'll lose that game. Vikings, which is another loss. Raiders, which I had them losing, but I think they might actually beat the Raiders now. And the Cowboys, which I had them beating the Cowboys in the last game, which they may not. I have them having a 5-12 record overall. But as of right now, I can see them beating the Niners and the Cowboys. Is that what I have? Oh, and the Bears. Niners, Cowboys, and Bears. So They might get to 5 wins. They might get to more. We'll see what happens. Tough teams got to play are Niners, Packers, Patriots, Redskins, Vikings. And I would say the Cowboys are a tough team as they're getting there. So we'll see what happens. Also, thanks for listening to the Corbin Report. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube and on Spotify, and check out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Talk to you guys next time. Bye.